why did you choose chess as your sport?
I got addicted to chess very fast. I fell in love with it, and then there was kind of no looking back.
अभी जो हम स्पोर्ट्स में ग्रोथ देख रहे हैं पिछले 10 सालों से, वो पहले से बहुत बेहतर तो है, लेकिन जब आप इंटरनेशनल लेवल पर गेम्स देखते हैं और मेडल्स देखते हैं, तो उसमें बहुत डिफरेंस होता है.
I agree that the number of medals still leaves something to be desired, but hopefully we will have a breakthrough over the next two Olympics.
Do you think AI has it now been introduced in the chess game as well?
AI will be one more step. In chess, computers have been stronger than human players already for close to 30 years.
To have AI as part of games, especially we are heading towards online gaming. So is it fair to have AI in between?
You cannot have it in any way for the players, because then you take away the idea that they're competing on their own. I still think it is better to practice over the board rather than online. For convenience, online chess is unbeatable.
Hi, you are watching ABP Live and I'm Srishti Goel with you, and today at Ideas of India we have a very special guest with us. He is chess champion Viswanathan Anand, and he is Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan, Arjuna Awardee and whatnot. So let's start our conversation with him. वेलकम टू द शो सर. सर, सबसे पहले सवाल तो मेरा ये है, अभी जो हम स्पोर्ट्स में ग्रोथ देख रहे हैं पिछले 10 सालों से, वो पहले से बहुत बेहतर तो है, लेकिन जब आप इंटरनेशनल लेवल पर गेम्स देखते हैं और मेडल्स देखते हैं, तो उसमें बहुत डिफरेंस होता है. हम देखते हैं चाइना जैसे कंट्री लेकर आ रहे हैं 100 मेडल्स ओलंपिक में, 200 मेडल, 400 मेडल्स, लेकिन वहीं इंडिया 21 मेडल्स में रैप अप कर लेता है. वी हैव सीन अ ग्रोथ, बट लेकिन उस हिसाब से नहीं देख रहे जितना होना चाहिए. तो डू यू हैव एनी एडवाइस जो हमें, शायद हमारी गवर्नमेंट को फॉलो करनी चाहिए, हमारे प्लेयर्स को फॉलो करना चाहिए?
Well, across the spectrum of sports, we see people are more interested in the game.
Yes.
Everybody follows sports. What is important nowadays is everybody follows multiple sports. Of course, they watch cricket, but they also watch and support other sports. And I agree that we don't have as many medals as I would like, but we are competing for more medals. We are not just participating. We are actually somewhat close. We miss, you feel you're on the cusp of winning more medals. Also, there are sports in which we already do very well. Like chess is, I think, at the front. India is level in chess, and the medals we are winning. We won the world title. We won both Olympiad.
Yes.
And that level of success, the challenge for chess is in how do you maintain such a good result. And I think as all sports work harder and compete, we will catch up. The important thing is now sports people in India are appreciated. They get much more support, much more structured support. All the different bodies work together. I'm in a foundation called Olympic Gold Quest, and we find that we interact with multiple parts of the government to make so that we don't duplicate efforts and things like that. So a lot more coordination, and I feel success will come. I agree that the number of medals still leaves something to be desired, but hopefully we will have a breakthrough over the next two Olympics.
Do you think AI has it now been introduced in the chess game as well? Do you think it can change human efforts?
AI will be one more step. In chess, computers have been stronger than human players already for close to 30 years.
Yes.
So AI for us is one incremental step in that development rather than something which is going to change the game completely. It, of course, has pushed the boundaries of chess even further.
Yes.
And that means more opportunities for everyone to participate and learn something new. But it's one more technological change in a sport which has seen many, many.
Do you think it'll be a fair thing to have AI as part of games, especially we are heading towards online gaming? So is it fair to have AI in between?
You have AI only in the presentation. You, of course, you cannot have it in any way for the players, because then you take away the idea that they're competing on their own. There are that I think should not be done. But AI is principally employed as a training tool in chess,
Yes.
and in that role, it drives the sport forward. Also, AI is very good in what is shown to the audience.
Yes.
If it makes the game more understandable, more easy to follow, more enjoyable, I think there it can play a crucial part.
Do you think chess has changed with the rise of online gaming?
It has many advantages. Online chess, you can practice with anyone as often as you want. The convenience, I think, makes it very popular, and for a lot of people, it's better to play at least some games. Some. So I still think it is better to practice over the board rather than online. But for convenience, online chess is unbeatable.
Where do you see chess future in the coming years after introduction of AI, online gaming? Do you think it is going to change something for the game?
Very much. The fact that chess was able to leverage all these technologies, the internet, video broadcasts, all this to popularize the game, has meant that for the first time, chess has become a truly global sport.
Right.
It's not a sport only in countries where there was a fan base. Now it is accessible everywhere.
Yes.
And I think that will continue to happen. We will continue to reach new audiences and keep growing. And the great advantages for us is that AI makes that process very easy for the chess community. It's very easy to show everyone what we are as a sport, and hopefully then the number of fans increases.
How did you start your journey and why did you choose chess as your sport?
I was curious about the game. I was lucky that my mother knew the rules and she was a good chess player. So at the age of 6, she taught me how to play and helped me join a chess club. My mother was a huge support. Also, my parents in general, they were supportive of the idea that I had this passion. And I think for me personally, I got addicted to chess very fast. I fell in love with it, and then there was kind of no looking back.
And how do you see this game changed over those years? Like when you started at a very, very young age. So from then to now, what all has evolved for chess?
When I started, the only way you could find out about games was through books. So we had to wait for the books to be published and mailed to us, and then
Right.
we would see what had happened and so on. Slowly, things started to get faster. We could receive the moves by telex and then by fax, and that's how you watched games in distant thing. And now, I think the ability of chess to follow chess just on your phone live
Yes.
from whatever is happening. That shows the kind of transition that it has had. Like a second thing is, I think the dominant country when I was growing up was the Soviet Union.
Yes.
Its breakup meant that chess spread everywhere else, and now we have multiple centers. And I think one more very important development is that India and China are both major powers in chess.
Yes.
And that obviously changes everything given the number of the population of India and China, and the fact that these countries are growing very fast. That's been a huge driver for chess.
And what about the trainings? When you were young, there must be very limited resources for that. So how did you manage to skill yourself? How did you get your training done?
So there are two things. One is, of course, training has become much easier, but at a competitive level, it doesn't make much difference. The point is, if training is easy for me, it's easy for everyone else. So there is
Yes.
no advantage for me. And when training was difficult, it was difficult for everyone. So there was a kind of balance.
But,
In that sense,
it
didn't
must be
change.
different
But of
at
course,
international level.
I mean, everywhere,
Yeah.
globally,
Okay.
it's just as difficult. I mean, of course, the Russians had the best setup,
Yes,
or the
yes.
Soviet Union had the best setup, but everyone had to learn it in a slow way, and there was scope for catching up. So what AI and all that has done is made it very easy for everyone to learn chess. But of course, everyone has to work then much harder. And
Yes.
the nature of work has changed a lot.
Chess is a very psychological game. So, have you ever had this difficult time during that match? Do you have any anecdote? You're having some thoughts in your head, or how do you handle that pressure when you're in the game?
It's a daily process. I would say every game you have some thoughts in your head which bother you, some demons you're fighting, some problems you're worried about.
Yes.
In fact, it's quite revealing that after a game, I may be thinking that of all the difficulties, all the things that could have gone wrong, because I'm still very connected to it. But for an outsider, it looks, oh, it was easy, it was smooth. But for the person participating, it never looks that way because you're constantly dealing with it. But it's part of the nature of the game.
What are your suggestions for the upcoming or the aspiring people who wants to be the chess champions and working really hard for their game?
I think the main thing is just to practice often and keep working because, first of all, there's a lot to learn in chess, and that is also changing. The new stuff is coming all the time. So to keep practicing and working.
And how do you feel when you get to know that these young boys are again making names in chess? The Gukesh has recently done, and then so many boys are coming up, even at this very little age. How do you feel that?
Well, I'm very proud and I'm very happy that of all the changes that India is participating fully in chess, and that we have so many youngsters. And so many of these youngsters I have worked with and
Right.
interacted with a lot in the last few years, even through my academy. So I'm very happy with the developments in chess.
Can I ask this in Hindi? I'll translate it. So, अगर आप chess champion नहीं होते या आप chess नहीं opt करते, तो आप क्या बनते?
I don't know what I would have become. One option was possibly an engineer because my father and elder brother were both engineers. I might have followed in their footsteps, or I might have done something else. The thing is, I came to chess so quickly. I never had actually tried anything else half seriously. I was a chess player by the time I was 12 or 13. By the time I became a teenager, so. There are lots of possibilities. There are lots and lots of fields which look interesting to me. I don't know what I would have ended up in.
So, since you made chess your passion, so what is your hobby then?
Everything else?
What do you do for entertainment?
A bit of everything. I like astronomy. I like traveling. I like music. I like films.
Do you read?
Yes, I read a fair amount.
Okay. Would you like to suggest any book for our viewers?
Um,
Or do you watch? You want to suggest any movie or something?
I mean, these days I watch a lot of documentaries. Of course, if there's some nice movie, I enjoy that as well. But there's just way too many. I can't think of anything to suggest.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys for watching ABP Live.